Well, hello, welcome Instagram, welcome YouTube. What we're going to do tonight, kind of similar to what we were doing the other night, but instead of being a popper and make it next level, we're going to take some of these little tiny crankbaits. I was gifted these by a buddy here in Cincinnati, Paul. Thank you so much. He is from Cincy Fishin. I'm going to take that. I'm going to actually put that in the comments here and pin that. So Cincy Fish Dudes is Paul and Neil. Neil owns a restaurant down where I live, and I went to the restaurant, and he gave me these lures, and I thought that was awesome. So I'm going to put that in here. Sub 2, Cincy Fish Dudes. There we go. All right, so look how small this crankbait is. It's like the size of my fingernail. However, funny enough, I believe these are the same lures, and I've already think I lost all those that I used for the 1,000-mile YouTuber challenge where I challenged Joel from Fat Bass's TV. And this is the lure that made me catch 37 fish to his 3. Just saying, he's a fire. Anyway, here's what we're doing with these tonight to make these even better. We are going to give them a little pizzazz on this hook because they've just got that one hook. And when you drag this through the water, you can pause it. This is a floating crankbait, and it'll have just a little bit down here that'll entice the fish. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get to it. I'm going to size down my clamp here. Let me tell you, this is a pretty small. You know, I probably should have taken this off of the bait, but I think we can get do. Think we can make it do. Yeah, we'll be all right. We don't need a whole lot. Oh yeah, we'll be fine. All right, so we're just going to get a good base of thread on here. I am using this kind of like an olive green color. Trim off the excess here. Now that that's well tied down, give it a few more wraps to hide that tag end. Boom, good. Now, we're not going to dress this up too much because this is a small lure and I don't want to get the flashing lost in the size of this lure. So, if you're watching either on YouTube here or Instagram, first person that calls out a color, name any color of the rainbow, and I'll see what I've got that's close. Blue. All right, we got the first color. Joshy says blue. How about that? Boom. Oh, everybody's saying blue. All right, here we go. We're going to take a little bit of blue flashing. Not a lot. This is a small crankbait. Right? Just a tiny bit. Ooh. All right, so you just basically lay that half of it and put the center point right on that hook where you're going to tie it in. One loose wrap, another loose wrap. We're going to tighten it down just a touch, and then we're going to fold back that flashing. Pinch it out of the way here. We got a couple wild pieces. That's okay. We'll trim those off. All right, we're just going to tie that down. Let's trim off those couple of excess pieces. Done. Give ourselves a whip finish. Now here's the hard part. I left the lure on. Let's see if we can get a whip finish without getting tangled up in this lure. Oh, that's skills right there. That's skills to pay the bills right there. Oh, maybe not. Look, I talked too much smack. Oh, now I got the thread hooked up into my my freaking split ring. What a rookie. What a goon. See, trying to cut corners over here. Seriously, dude? Oh, man. All right, we're just going to give that a nice ugly wrap and see if we can tie that wild thread that got loose down. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if the whip finisher gets in the way, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to do a couple finger knots. When I do these, I usually do a couple of them. We're going to hit that with glue and give this bad boy a haircut. Listen, it is a lot of work to catch sunfish, but you know what? It's fun. It makes this lure like a little bit better. You know, and if you're into fly tying, why not? This is just a basic crankbait. Why not take it to the next level? All right. Now we're not going to leave that much on because we don't want to worry about short strikes. We're going to cut that down. Yeah, now we've just got a little bit of flare there on the bottom of that hook. So when we rest this crankbait, we've got something nice kind of dangling there in the water, a little dangler. And I think the next one, because I got 5 of these, sunfish that will destroy trout at a clear creek. You know what? I threw a very small crankbait the other day for rainbow trout and smiggity smashed them. CBG, what's happening, sir? All right. See you, Rick. Thanks for hopping on. All right, we're going the chartreuse killer. The chartreuse killer. You know what? Should we take off the split ring or make do? I think we should make do. It'll take forever to take that tiny, tiny split ring off. All right, we're locking it in. Locking it in. All right, we're starting with a standard tie down. We're going with the olive green thread. Get a good little start there. Snip off our tag end. All right, now instead of flashing, we're going to go with the rubber leg. Let's do 2 of them, because when we fold it over, it'll be 4 legs. So we're going to go 1 loose wrap, pull it back, give it a good tie down there. Now, not too tight. If you guys are using rubber legs and you've got thin denier wire, you don't really want to crank down on the tension on that because it will cut through the rubber on the rubber legs. Feathers you can kind of really get down on, but some of these rubber skirted legs, if you're using a thinner thread, you can cut through it if you crank on it too much. All right, so we're going to build up a good little thread base here. And I think the move is not to use the whip finisher because that didn't turn out so hot. So we're just going to pull off a couple finger knots here. Hit it with some UV epoxy. Boom. Got it. A little UV. Just a dab. Just a dab. There we go. Let that set and cure real quick. I like these chartreuse legs. I don't know if you guys can tell, but in this UV light, man, there's like a glow in the dark color. All right, cured out. All right, we're going to take that. We're going to trim them down. We don't want a crazy profile. I think I just want a little bit of action. Look at that. Tell me that's not going to make this basic lure small, give it a bigger visual presentation. And yeah, this is a sunfish catcher. This is also smallie candy. I'm telling you. You know, I think we might as well go ahead and trick out all of them. So I've gone with rubber legs, rubber skirting. I've gone with flashing. Let's go with an actual feather. Creek Crusher, congrats on passing 1K. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It has been a 1.5-year grind. Glad we finally made it. It paired very nicely with joining the CAST CRAY team. So it was kind of a really cool month that went down. We joined the CAST CRAY team. We hit 1,000 subs. Man, fishing has been great. It's been an absolute blessing. And I tell you what, I cannot thank you guys enough, and thank God for giving me this opportunity because it has been wonderful. It was, dude. It was a surreal moment. It was cool. And a lot of people, you know, like when you hit 1,000, it just feels like you've arrived, even though you're still nobody technically. I don't know. It just felt good that me running around in creeks makes 1,000 other people want to watch. I think it's kind of cool. At least on YouTube anyway. It does. Gives you a little small sense of accomplishment. Listen, I got to tell a story real quick, and I'll tie as I do this. But I got a message months ago. It's from like an 85-year-old man. And he messaged me and said, Matt, I just want to tell you that I watch every single one of your videos, and it takes me back to a childhood that I can never revisit because I'm now disabled. But you fish all these areas around the Cincinnati area, you know, the area around Cincinnati that I fished as a young man, and it's like reliving parts of my childhood. And he said, just keep doing what you're doing. And man, I tell you what, that single message was so motivating that I was just like, man, more people have to feel like this, right? Maybe they're just not outspoken about it. They don't say anything about it, but I don't know. That felt really good to hear that it meant something to someone. I'm getting all sentimental up in this room. All right, check it out. I'm gonna use this it's a really, really light pink feather. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna strip it and get the fluff out, right? Because I don't need this part. And then I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna take a little bit away. So I've got just a little bit of an exposed spine. And I know that's hard to see. So see just a little bit, like a quarter inch of that spine exposed, right? And I'm going to use that part, lay it flat towards the back, and I'm going to tie down that spine. I'm going to trim off the little butt end of that feather there. Do a couple finger wraps. There's a name for this knot, and I'm not quite sure what they call it, but I was too lazy to take these small treble hooks off the lures. This lure is small enough I can kind of navigate around it. But it works. All right, trim that off. Give ourselves a dab, just a little dabby do. Make sure that feather ain't going anywhere. Bam with the UV light. CBG, over under 10 years before you come to Kansas to fish. I'm going to give it over under 10 weeks. How about that, sir? Dab on them. Dude, I'm too old to dab on them. Come on, man. All right, boom. Here we go. Third different profile. What, the French toast? Check that out, dude. All right, check him out. Now, when this gets wet, man, I wish I had a cup of water down here. The feather won't be so wild and flat. It will kind of slender down some, and it'll be a little bit more of a slicker profile. So here we go. We got a feather. We've got flashing, which is like the glitter string, kind of, if you're not familiar with what flashing is. So flashing is just that kind of shiny glitter string. And then we've got standard rubber skirting. All right, let's say we do one more, or maybe two more. You know, I thought about doing a dragon tail, but I think the yarn will get caught up in the treble hook. So, ooh, okay, I know. Yes, I'm serious, dude. 10 weeks. I'll be there sometime late spring, early summer. I'll make it a point to come out and do a road trip. I've been dying to meet all you guys in person and to get out there and fish with some of my Kansas bros who's been following me and I follow you guys. It's like we're a long distance fam. All right, check it out. Here's where we're going for crankbait number 4. If you know what this is, type it in the comments. See if someone can guess. It's not turkey beard. Dude, if I was thinking, I should have saved some beard trimmings and tied it onto a lure. That'd have been the nastiest, grossest freaking lure ever. Yeah, I trimmed my beard off the other day, as you can tell. Took about 4. Well, I cranked on that thread a little too hard. Rethread this bad boy. Like, dang, Hercules. All right, so I'll clue you in. It's not a huge bird, but it looks huge because when it puts its plumes out, they're for show. You see them a lot at the zoo. Now you guys for sure have it, right? What the heck? How do I keep breaking this? All right. I don't like this. I don't like this string. Going back to black. The string is black. I think it's because it's a waxed string and it's like really stiff. And this black is an unwaxed string. Anyway. Dude, abandoned ship. I'll have to cut that thread off of them. I got one more crankbait chilling out. All right. Speed round. Peacock. No, you had it right first time. It's a Charizard. It is a peacock. All right. We are going to take a little of this peacock plumage. And you may not see this on camera, but it's really shiny. You can't see that on camera for sure. Maybe up on here on Instagram on my phone. It's got a really good gleam to it. So I'm just going to take a few little plumes. Just a small little pinch. We're probably going to trim those down quite a bit. One loose wrap. Now, the reason we're going to do one loose wrap is that I want to take my poke tool here and I'm going to spread those feathers out so they're kind of even between all three sections of the treble hook. Otherwise, they're all going to be hanging out on 1/3 of the treble hook. There we go. Now, tie these down. Now, these are feathers you cannot crank down on. Peacock feathers are pretty fragile. We're going to build up a pretty good base here of the thread because I don't want those peacock feathers to slip out. And the peacock feathers, in addition to being pretty fragile, they don't grip very well. So build up a good base on those. Definitely a good amount of glue. And so why I'm doing glue now is I want to put some extra wraps into the glue. And then even my knots into the glue. And what's good about this UV glue is it stays liquid until you hit it with the UV light. Like the UV light is the stuff that cures it. activates it. I'm going to go 3 finger wraps. And then trim that bad boy off. Another little dab of glue. Make sure we're nice and tight. Hit her with the UV light. All right. Give it a once, twice, 3 times around. Cure it out. All right, now that's too much, so we're going to give them a little haircut. I think we're going to go about 3/4 of an inch off the bottom here. Man, these are super soft feathers. So we're going to go right about there. Boom. Check that out. Nice little bit of plumage down there. Tell me that's not going to entice a little fish to come and snack on that. And yeah, you know what? We overkilled a sunfish lure. Don't even care. You see, when you care about going the extra mile, you're going to catch some fish. And that's fact. Anyway, I think that is all the crankbaits we are going to put together tonight. If you guys haven't seen how to take some of your fishing stuff to the next level, check out both my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. I put up how to take your Ned rig to level 1000. Also, how to make basic nails, basic ring shank nails into, I think it's the brand VMC. You know, they sell those little nail weights, little skirted nails that go into your Senkos. And they charge like $4 for 2 of them. You can make those for 2 pennies if you start fly tying. Also, if you're interested in getting into fly tying and joining and tying some of the stuff with me together or on your own, I've got these fly tying kits that I am giving away for only shipping. So if you send me shipping, you've got everything you need, all the tools, a vise, just like, it's not just like mine, but it's a vise. It's a good vise. The scissors, the bobbin holders, the hackle pliers, the bobbin threads, a couple whip finishers, 4 colors of thread, some fancy stuff. I'm even going to make sure that I throw in some peacock feathers and some pheasant feathers, just so you guys have some stuff to get started. So if you're interested in that, hit me up with a DM, and I'll send you some info that you can get one of these. All I'm asking for is the shipping. These were gifted to me, so I want to gift them back to other people so you can learn how to fly tie, because I think it's super rewarding. You can get super creative with all your stuff. So, yeah. Thank you guys for joining. I will see you on the next live video. Peace out, YouTube. See you later.